Is it time to start recognizing and reevaluating some of the habits that you might have developed in the last year? I know that is certainly the case for me. And I started thinking about this as a result of one of my other habits. You see, I take notes on pads of paper. I know there is technology for that, but I just love the feel of pen on paper. That aside, I was going through one of my notepads that had Seahawks notes on it from the end of the season. And I had scribbled a note about something linebacker Bobby Wagner had said. He was talking about habits that he didn't even know he had until they were pointed out to him by somebody else. You know, he was going through how he eats the same thing for breakfast and he walks into the building at the same time and he sits at the same place. And he said one day he had a note on the seat that he would normally be sitting at. He asked the person, "How did you know I was even going to get it?" And that person said, "Well, I know where you are because you do the same thing every single day." Up to that point, Bobby said he hadn't noticed it. And I started to think about things that I hadn't noticed over the course of the last year for me personally. Habits that I've fallen into that might not be as productive. For example, putting things off to the next day because what else do I have to look forward to? We were in the middle of a pandemic. Or maybe towards mid to late afternoon, when I've lost my mojo and my creativity, I pour a glass of wine because I am just so sure that is going to spark things to life again. It did not. But what else was I going to do? Because I wasn't going anywhere. And then those two habits resulted in regular pity parties when I started to feel sorry for myself that I hadn't done enough to either move my business forward or to move things forward at the TV station, projects that I was working on. I didn't recognize any of those habits until I started to see themes pop up in my daily journaling. Look, habits can be good and habits can be unproductive, and certainly things have changed over the course of the last year. And here's what I'd encourage you to do. Take a look and evaluate those habits and make sure that we are establishing good habits for getting back into either a traditional work environment or maybe a hybrid work environment. And that can start with communication skills. You can still do that from your home, but make sure that you're adding strategy and intentionality around everything that you are communicating, either in email or in those virtual meetings, so that we eliminate confusion and we clearly and concisely give people the information that they need. There, of course, are lots of ways to do that on the website, but keep reading below because there's a couple articles I think that you're going to be really in tune with, and a cool Learn from a Leader session coming up later this month.